So why work in a 90-day cycle? Well, there's a lot of benefits, actually. Some of these are pretty simple, but it's easier to stay focused, which I'll come back to in a minute. It's much easier to achieve goals in a 90-day cycle. It's also, before achieving those goals, it's easier to set the realistic goals and then actions to back those up. And then again, it's short enough to be understood, but it's long enough to get some real movement, right? To achieve some notable goals. So to kind of circle back on this, easy to stay focused and easier to achieve your goals. I think, it's put well, I guess, by Gino Wickman. So he's the author of Traction. It's a book right here I've referenced several times. It's a good framework. I'm not going to go into the details of that, but what he talks about is this 90-day phenomenon, and just being that it's based on this natural kind of phenomenon that we've seen, that human beings stumble, get off track, and lose focus, roughly every 90 days. And I think if you can look back to yourself and others and companies and everything, you start to see this. And it's kind of the 80-20 rule, right? It may be 60 days, it might be 120. But that idea of using the yearly plan as being the bigger idea planning, you get to the end of the year and you're like, oh my God, we're way over here when we meant to be down here, things like that. You lose sight and people lose focus regularly. With the hundreds of people I've talked to about schedules, setting goals, planning, the 90-day cycle comes up again and again and again. And it is the best place to start if you don't already have an existing plan. And even if you do and you feel like it's not working that well, there's a lot of reasoning and good stuff behind this. So I would really highly suggest using it. And other things like the Best Self Journal are set up around that, roughly 12 to 13 week time period for setting goals, setting your milestones, setting actions, things like that. As far as an action plan, something that you can do is to, if you've never done this before, you can grab the Best Self Journal. You can order one. You could also use their free PDF. You can, set up 90 days. If you feel like your goal setting is good enough, just set a reminder and today sit down and write out the goals, set out your milestones and then the actions that support those. And then, if you want to, for a business and have a kind of a more general framework behind all this, as far as meetings and a lot of this other stuff, then check out Traction. And I'm not going to, again, go into details. I just want to let you know that there is real reasons behind this for having a 90-day cycle, and then how powerful this can be for you and your business and setting and achieving those goals.